Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Jamar84 here once again. It's late. It's like 2 a.m. that I'm recording this, but I had to handle issue earlier today and took up a large part of my day, and it's just a lot. So I didn't get to get the videos out that I was going to do today, and I'll be sure to make sure I get that done, hopefully by tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to give you the review because I just finished watching the episode of Love and Hip Hop, episode 13 from season 2 called Up in Flames. And really, there was only one little small flame at the end, but they come with the titles, whatever. So the episode starts out with Rasheeda um, talks to Mimi about Kirk, and she's crying, and she's expressing all these emotions. Now I didn't get to talk about the Rasheeda and Kirk thing from last week because I didn't have cable yet, and so but I did get a chance to watch it last night, and I'm just like, Rasheeda, this man has fucked you over in so many ways, and has just publicly humiliated you, and tried to get you to abort your child, and trying to take you off of the joint account, and in the process of publicly embarrassing you, not only did he cheat and break his vows, he cheated and broke his vows in the public eye of America. So that just shows you how many fucks he gives about you and your feelings. And so I know you want to think about, you don't want to break up the family, but look, you can't take disrespect for the sake of other people. Your family, it may be a blow or a readjustment, but there's no reason for anybody to stay in a relationship where they're feeling disrespected, especially to that level. Like, there's no excuse for that shit. So, Rasheeda, I believe she's filing for separation or divorce. Congratulations to you, boo, because we've been waiting for a long time. I don't want if this season ends, I don't want to see Kirk on the show no more. If Rasheeda's still on there, whatever. But I don't want to see him and his Adam's apple on that show no damn more. Okay. So moving on from that, well then of course Mimi was definitely she was a support system, and she said that it's not you because a lot of times in relationships, even though the other person is doing wrong, we always think what did we do to make them do that? When in reality, we're fine, it's them. They don't want to act, nothing, want to be stupid. But yeah, so that's pretty much what Mimi was saying. She was assuring him that it's not you, that it's him, yada yada yada. So in the next scene, is Scrappy is over at Mama D's house, talking about my Mama D's going on and on and on and on about this ring and how she was like, I couldn't wait for her to take the ring off the finger. She don't belong in this palace. Let me tell you something. Mama D, are you sure it's not Mama D that needs to be going to these shrinks and therapists? Because Mama D is apparently living in an alternate universe and thinks that she is the queen of some imaginary palace somewhere. And everybody is a peasant, and she's yelling for these imaginary guards in the confessionals, and I'm just like, are y'all sure that it's Scrappy? Because I mean, granted, weed is bad. Weed is not something that you need to partake in if you're facing jail time, of course. But I mean, is it really to the same seriousness as Mama D and her delusion? But it is what it is. But she's going on about this ring and how she didn't believe at the beginning that Erica was right for him, blah 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 blah. She's just happy and ecstatic that she finally got her way, even though she went with Erica to get the thing. Whatever. And so Scrappy's like, I feel like I can't be doing this because I can't face jail time. I'm like, shit, jail ain't no or whatever, jail or prison. I forget which one he's gonna go to, but ain't nobody down with that shit. So the next scene is Tracy and Drew and Tracy's new boo thing at the time. Sean meets up, and I knew that this was going to be a train wreck from when it was first scheduled. I knew as soon as Drew was talking about, oh, I want to take you guys out for dinner. I want you guys to, we're going to get to know each other. This is gonna be a man that's going to possibly be in your life and the son's life and blah, blah, blah. Drew knew what the fuck he was doing. I caught that from last week's episode. He was like, I'm gonna try to find something to break this relationship up, and that's exactly what he did. But um, getting back to the scene itself, uh, let's see. Drew basically came to the table with a full fucking questionnaire. Like, it was a whole survey of shit. First question, he was like, "Do you feel threatened by me?" Dude was like, "No." And then he was like, "Oh, well, what's your intentions?" I'm like, why does this just feel inappropriate as fuck? Especially, okay, you know what? I feel like it would have been better had Drew approached Sean maybe one on one and wanted to talk about, do you feel threatened that I'm the father of her child? Do you, what are your intentions? I'm always concerned about the men that are going to be around my child. Like, had he approached it that way, and had that personal, one-on-one time with Sean alone without Tracy, then that would have made more sense. But to do it at a dinner table and try to really make Sean look a fool, which he kind of did, but to do it that way seemed real tacky to me. But when he was trying to ask him, like, do you have any criminal record? Do you have anything that we need to know about? Any secrets that can come out? All that good shit. Sean was like, nope, I got a clean slate, A1, I'm good. And then Drew was like, oh, really? Well, got this mug shot. It looked like it was on a damn Facebook app or Google, whatever it was. And he was like, so, what's going on with that? Then Sean was like, Sean was like, oh shit, the nigga knows how to use Google. He's like, well, that was back in 2006. That was my past. I'm like, nigga, we asked you, did you have anything that we need to know about that might come up later? And clearly, if some shit can show up on motherfucking Google, that may be something that you want to relay. Now, skipping ahead, when, because Tracy felt a certain way about it, him lying and uh, she not having a zero tolerance for liars and all that good shit. On one hand, yes, that is something that if I tell you, to tell me anything, if we're trying to build a relationship, then you need to build trust. And if you lie to me and tell me that there's no reason that you can't trust me, and then it later comes out that you had a fucking criminal record, then yeah, I understand Tracy and her excuse me, being upset. However, on the other hand, if I try to give Sean the benefit of the doubt, I kind of understand as to why he lied at that moment. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like it wouldn't be that wouldn't be the time to have that discussion or to put that out there in that kind of environment. I felt like it would have been better had he been able to tell Tracy on his own, more so like on one. But he probably fucked up when he told her initially that she could trust him. But I would have told him there then, well, okay, you can trust me, but I want to let you know that X, Y, and Z has happened. But I think he was like, he doesn't really owe the baby daddy all that kind of information. But I'm trying to see both sides. But Sean, I think I'm going to side more so with Tracy. Like, you should have just been honest, dude. Honesty is always going to be the best policy, especially if you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody, because you don't want things to come up later, then it's going to just make you look bad. And Tracy just broke it off like, you go your way, I'm going to go mine. And so that was done. So now we get to the scene where Stevie J is cooking or something with his dad. They don't really look alike, in my opinion. It made me wonder, like, what Stevie J's mom looks like. But Joseline comes in, she's talking to him about the marriage, and she's trying to basically, kind of get his blessing, I guess. And and the dad's like, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want with my son? And she's like, I want everything: the babies, the house, the commitment, the family, all that shit. And he was like, I want to get or she was like, I want to get your approval. And he was like, well, hey, I'm all for it, And Stevie J on the side looking like, shit. this bitch is serious. Like, he's worried about digging a hole too deep. And he's worried about digging a hole too deep because just last episode, he tried to get digging deep into Mimi's hole, if you know what I'm saying. Because when he gave her that Cadillac, he was like, or she was like, I want this to be mine with no strings attached. He was like, oh yeah, no, there's no strings attached. This is all yours. Knowing damn well he was not going to let her have that shit without bringing it up like, well, I gave you a car, so can you give me, it's a hot mess. It's just a hot mess. But Joseline is really trying to get this shit going. And Stevie J's father was like, if you want this from him, I know my son, you got to push him, take him to Vegas, get him a little drunk, and yada yada. And Stevie J's like, well, damn, my nigga, you just gonna give away all my secrets. But yeah, it was interesting. She was trying to get the blessing. She was like, this is my green light. If Stevie J's dad says to push him and to get what I want, that's exactly what the fuck I'm gonna do. Mimi calls up to meet with Kirk about the whole Rasheeda situation. Now, she didn't go off. She didn't, let him have it. Because well, sometimes, I can't say that's not how Mimi is, but that's not how Mimi has been this episode. Because, she turned the fuck up to Ariane and K. Michelle in a few episodes with her Liquid Courage. But that's neither here nor there. So, Mimi's basically like, I want to know what your side of the story is. I want to know what's going on. Let me know. And Kirk basically tries to justify his behavior in saying that, oh, Rasheeda doesn't give me the attention I want. She does this, she does that. I don't feel appreciated and whatnot. Now, mind you, I don't. I'm not gonna condone being, going out and being or cheating on somebody because you don't feel like there's attention, but I feel like a lot of times other members of the party in the relationship don't realize that you feel that way, and we're just kind of like, when you get in a relationship, you get comfortable. You kind of after a while go through the motions, and uh, you may not realize that you're hurting the other person. So that's why it's always better to have communication in a relationship. If you're feeling something, like the other person just may be completely unaware, have no idea what the fuck is going on, and so. Uh, I understand to an extent of where Kirk was coming from, but bitch, you ain't had to do what the fuck you did. I don't know what kind of unappreciation, because it didn't. I didn't see it. Now, I will say that I remember vaguely in season one. I remember I felt sorry for Kirk. I'm like, damn, Rasheeda does kind of, you know, make the dude feel like he's invisible. But now, fuck that. But she was like, you have how many kids do you have? He was like 5. I was like, damn, Kurt, you got 5 kids? Are these 5 different women? Somebody let me know. Like, is it how many baby mamas does he have, excluding Rasheeda? And she was like, what kind of example are you setting for your child and your grandchild? Hell, from what I'm hearing. And the whole time, I was like, why is the whole time Mimi is talking? This sounds like this is sort of setting of a soap opera. Like, the music that they were playing was just, like, so dramatic. But I did what they were trying to do, but it just seemed weird. So Ariane and Mimi and K. Michelle are talking. And Ariane decides to pretty much let the world, for those of us who, well, those of y'all who don't have brains, who didn't know it before, trying to let y'all know that she likes women. But most of us who paid attention clocked that tea a long time ago when she was all up in Mimi's couscous whenever they was going through Stevie J's thing, and she was just like, she was persistent, and she was just all up on her, and just, I mean, we just got the gay vibe. Like, nobody was really shocked, my nigga. Like, she didn't even hardly talk about being with men. Not like she talked about being with women, but she never mentioned, no man. She was always just like a supporting character for Mimi, pretty much for the most part. So she was like, I don't, if I want. No, they were talking about the audition. That's what it was. They were talking about the audition. And she was like, I'm gonna still pursue the things I want. My music, my this, women. K. Michelle Mew was like, oh, what you mean women? K. Michelle was like, women and what? And Ariel was like, in my bed. I was like, oh, and they was like, oh, well, all right then. And they were both glad that that she was comfortable enough to tell her. And who was that? That was Mimi. Mimi asked K Michelle. It was like, "Do you like women?" And K Michelle was like, "Girl, I like women on holidays." And then here go Ariane's like, "Well, it is Memorial Day, so." I'm like, "Girl, well, at least she's free. She can be as free about it as she wants to now. Hell." And also, I want to talk about Ariane singing from last week and that queen who tried to come for her. She didn't. She wasn't great. She wasn't great, but she wasn't as bad as I thought she was going to sound. So I give her credit where her credit is due. But the other dude was doing too much, and came to show shut that down. Like, dude, I'm gonna need you to call me a pussy, and this is my. I ain't finna. You ain't finna come here and shade my friend like this. Only I can do that. Not like she would, but you know what I'm saying. But anyways, moving forward with the episode. Yeah, Arian, we already knew you were gay, or a lesbian, or you liked men, or whatever. We already knew. You didn't give a shock. I'm not sure if you were trending on Twitter or not. We already knew. So K Michelle meets with Joseline, and of course Joseline is going around making her stops, letting everybody know, I want this marriage, and I want this, I want that. This is the thing I'm saying about Joseline and her relationship with Stevie J. Girl, I don't understand how you can start a relationship with a man who was in a relationship and has a child by another woman, starts fucking you, and then she gets tired of that relationship because he's fucking you, or the main bitch gets tired of the relationship because he's fucking you. And so, since he doesn't have her anymore, he's gonna come and, deal with you. Now, here's the thing. They always say that you get him or you lose him how you get him. If he was willing to fuck with you while with somebody else, what makes you think you can just be the best shit in the world and him just gonna marry you and not fuck with nobody else? Like, if he's gonna do it to that person with you, he's gonna do it with somebody else. Like, I just don't. I mean, I understand her enthusiasm and her feelings or whatever, but I want her to understand that. I mean, this is Stevie J. Like, you were a part of the cheating and the shit. Like, it's not like Mimi was a bad person in a relationship. At least not to my knowledge, anyway. Hell, they had a child together, so whatever. But Jocelyn, I'm gonna need you to be aware that you're trying to force yourself into being the main bitch status when just the other day Stevie tried to get Mimi to suck his schlong, and hell, if he's trying to get married to you and loves you so much, then why he even be fucking with her? He really wants Mimi, but since Mimi ain't gonna give it to him no more, he gonna settle with your ass. That's why he's wondering if this is too big of a hole to dig, because he don't really. I mean, he cares about you, but he's like commitment forever. I don't know about that shit. But this was the episode where Jocelyn was just throwing all types of shade, y'all. So K Michelle mentions that Carly Red's having the showcase and whatnot, and Jocelyn was like, "Oh, the bitch still does music," trying to make it seem like, uh, I mean, now granted that was a hot mess because y'all remember, oh, was that this season or the last season? I can't really recall. But when K Michelle was on, I mean not K Michelle, but when Carly Red was on the that stage trying to perform for Stevie J, I believe, when she was doing about that Louis Prada Fendi shit, child. But anyways, the thing I was to say about that is that was funny. But Jocelyn, like, girl, your music ain't the most popping shit on the airways right now either. So you can't. You're not really in a position to throw that kind of shade. But granted, the shit was still funny. I ain't gonna lie, the shit was still funny. So we get to the scene with this showcase, and Carly's does like a little preview, I guess, before the show starts, before K Michelle and Jocelyn show up. She sounded. Mm-mm. I thought Carly Rae was a rapper. Is she trying to do like Nicki Minaj, a rap and sing at the same time? I don't know. Whew. Excuse me. But I, that performance made me feel uncomfortable. And Jocelyn was on the sideline like, shit, she was 20 years younger. She could have been the new Beyonce or something. I was like, oh, girl, you tried it on two different levels. Not only is she 20 years younger, But you were trying to make her the new Beyonce, and Kelly Michelle was like, "Girl, I said be nice, not fucking delusional, bitch." I was like, "God damn, both of y'all hoes is just shady as hell." But y'all ain't never lied. So after the performance, K. Michelle and Joseline meet Carly Rae outside. It's like, oh, the performance was good. There was, not much. K. Michelle's like, there wasn't a bad performance by any means. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, come on now, y'all were just reading her for Phil not 15 minutes ago. Y'all gonna sit here and gas her up like this? All right, but Joseline wasn't about that life. Joseline was like, oh, your outfit's cute. And Carly Rae was like, "Dang, they can get one made." Da 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 da. And then Justin was like, "Your hair is really pretty. I really like it." She's like, "I did just get my hair done. I got it colored and whatnot." And notice that she's not saying the performance is good. She's talking about how the different pieces of what she had on look good. And then she was like, referring back to her hair, she was like, it makes you look like 10 years younger. It makes you look younger. And Carly Rae was like, "Oh, bitch, she tried that." Then she was she didn't get bucked this time. She didn't get bucked this time. She was like, "You know what? Don't take no digs at me. I ain't take no digs at you." Yada yada yada. And in the confessional, she was like, she was like, a light bulb went off in my head, and I was wondering like, what is Joseline doing? While at least I'm performing. I'm doing my thing, and like, what is she doing? Like, I haven't seen her performance. And then she was like, "Oh wait, I have seen her perform in porn." I was like, "Ooh." I truly had an LOL moment. That shit was so funny to me. That shit was just too fucking funny. But needless to say, that Carly Rae, I don't know what to tell you to do because singing and performing is not your strong suit. And I stick to your hairline if you're any good at that. I don't know, but just stay away from the stage. So the last thing of this episode that I want to talk about is this last scene with Rasheeda's mama and Rasheeda and this Kirk scene. So, Rasheeda's definitely, confiding in her mom, letting her know all things what's going on and all good things like that. And while they're discussing it, Kirk comes up, pops a wheelie and shit, and is like, "I want to come and patch up the relationship." I'm like, "Nigga, it's late now." Shit, it's a little late for that now, but they try to talk, and Mama's like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you patch it up, all right." And then she was like, "You may want to move that bike out the motherfucking way." And then she just bags the entire shit out of that bike, and it just runs over the shit. And then she puts this shit back in fucking drive. It's like, "Move the hell out the way, move the hell out the way, Rasheeda." Rasheeda with her pregnant ass got the fuck out the way, and she done hit the shit again, and the shit sparked on goddamn fire, and it was funny. Then Kirk ain't do nothing but throw his helmet on the ground and look at me fucking amazement, like, "Oh my god," like. I thought he'd be more crunk than that, but it is what it is. But oh shit. Sorry, y'all. I almost knocked shit over on my damn table. But that's pretty much the episode, you guys. It's that whole ratchet mess. I think there's only like 2 episodes left before we get to this reunion. And girl, I'm ready to see this. I really can't even wait because I know this is gonna be good. I wonder if anybody's gonna get proposed to at this reunion, but lastly, before I go, give a couple of personal shout outs. Definitely give a shout out to Scotty, Mr. Still Standing, who always shouts me out on his YouTube shows. So I definitely appreciate that. Also, give a shout out to my other reviewers. It's Forest Rocks, Bonnie Blue, Ashley Miller. They all have supported me in building my YouTube channel and my audience, so I definitely give a shout out to them for that. But this episode has gone on long enough. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. And also, recently I uploaded 2 other videos earlier this week. You guys can check those out. I did a review of the Beyonce concert that I went to last night, and also I did a album review of Sierra's new self-titled album. So make sure you guys go check that out. My Twitter links, you can follow me at Jamar84. That's both Instagram and Twitter. All the links will be in the bottom. And I will see you guys, if not tomorrow, I don't know when. Hopefully I'll be able to get the video up. But yeah, I'll go on. But I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.